this little demonstration was discussed, Mr. Malema, with Jock, the likelihood is that we would not have been here, you would not have been coming to this court for 5 years.
No, you brought me wrongly here. And you know that. Either you want to build your career with my name, using my name, and destroy my reputation, and destroy the future of my children and my wife. You know very well that you brought me here wrongly. Look at all the 19 statements that you have led before this court. No one can associate me with any wrongdoing. I cannot regret having done nothing wrong. I possessed a toy. It requires no license. It requires nobody's permission for me to use it at any time. Well, if that was a requirement, I would have complied with the law. Like the person you brought here of the job, who said, this was the best team ever, the most disciplined and highly cooperative.
Mr. Malema, may I request that we maintain the mutual respect we had for one another since the beginning of this trial up to now.
What do you mean by that?
Just a request that I'm having.
What do you mean by that? You brought me here for 6 years for no issue. And that is not disrespectful. It's robust, but it's not disrespectful. I'm being honest. You have put this court in this predicament because you could have taken a decision when you took over the case. When the first prosecutor left, you could have taken over the case and made a decision on your own independently and objectively. You refused to do that. It was you in the argument of 174 who said, had you known the facts you know now about Larry Mabunda, you would have charged him. That on its own should have told you there is something wrong here. And as an objective prosecutor, declined to proceed with something that has got loopholes. I'm not being disrespectful, Your Worship. I'm being honest. And I'm telling my truth as I see it.
In hindsight, this idea of having this particular demonstration at the particular stadium, Mr. Malema, what I'm trying to say to you is that if that was discussed with Jock, it would have been easily resolved that this was indeed a toy firearm, as you claim that you used on the night in question.
My brother, there was no need, because no license is required, no permission is required. You have not led any evidence that suggests there was a need for a permission to be acquired before you use a toy gun. Police officers in their different ranks, including some aspects who came here, they've made it very clear. You require no license to use a toy. Your Worship, everything that required a permission of the job went past the job. And who is the witness for us here? Is the job person who came here and said they were the most compliant, disciplined people I've ever dealt with, and had very good words to say about our Secretary General.
Thank you. You also testified regarding the bodyguards that have always been present.
Absolutely.
Is that correct?
Yes.
You still haven't been able to establish the name of the bodyguard that you showed yesterday on the video footage.
You can ask me the name, I'll give it to you with ease.
Do you know it?
Yes, Curry. Warrant Officer Curry. Khari. There were actually two. The other one is Chauge.
I'm so busy with the
Oh.
KHI.
Khari.
The second one?
Chauge. Chauge, C-H-A. Okay.
You also said that if there was anything untoward, they would have acted on that stadium if that was indeed a real firearm. Is that correct?
Absolutely, and my witness is, I don't know what you call him, Colonel Swart Boy, who said in his evidence in chief here that had something happened wrongly in front of those people, they had a duty to take an action against him. I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting him verbatim.
Mr. Malema, these statements was read relating to the bodyguards were read to Colonel Swartboy when he was testifying. I'm going to go through it again. The one of Andle Kume.
Yes.
He states that I hereby states in English under oath, he gives his rank as a sergeant in the South African Police Service. He's stationed at the Protection Security Services in East London. He hereby confirms, unless the context, I don't want to read through the legalities, I just want to go to the crux of his statement if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's A65. I'm going to start with the first paragraph from the top, where it says that my colleague and I, known as Sergeant Nzelani, also stationed at the Protection Security Services East London, was at East London Airport on 21st July 2018, awaiting the arrival of Mr. Malema and his dignitaries. 3 colleagues from the National Protection Security Officers, known as Collins, Chauke, and Gary, joined us at the East London Airport on the mentioned date. On 28 July 2018, I was the leading vehicle alone, with Collins driving Mr. Malema, Julius Malema, and Sergeant Zelani and Kari as the backup vehicle. We departed from the Julius Malema accommodation to the Sisa Dukasha Stadium, Dansani, East London, and stated in the above formation. On our arrival at the stadium, myself and Sergeant Zelani were not allowed into the designated stage area and remained outside. During the evening late, we were allowed inside the designated area where the detailed vehicles was parked. At no stage did I witness any shooting or enter the stage area. He said I issued with a Glock 9mm. I don't think the remainder of that paragraph is relevant to whatever, but he says that at no stage did he enter that area or the stadium.
We'll have to read it again. I mean, you are the one who's reading it. He says, were later allowed into the designated, and then you say, after reading that, you say, he says, at no stage was he ever allowed. He says, were later allowed into the designated area, and I've not seen anything wrong.
Where the vehicles was parked. He didn't say on the stage, he says where the vehicles was parked.
Your worship, were not allowed in the designated area. Later were allowed into the designated area. So where were the cars parked all along? Where?
Can I ask
Because the story is that once they drop you off, you go around the stage. Both the driver of the main car and the backup car will now take the cars right behind the stage. Because as part of protection protocols, is that in a case of danger, you must be rescued from the stage right into the car and escape. Or you're going to be rescued into the car when you still have to run to the parking and there is some bus which has blocked your car. Always, the VIP cars are packed in a manner that, in a way, without saying, they're preparing escape. That's why when they arrive, they might be facing the direction opposite the gate, but they will have to turn them around to face the gate, because when the need for the escape comes, there will not be time to turn the cars around. They must always be in a state of readiness for escape.
Can I ask you, Mr. Malema, where was these cars parked?
Behind the stage.
Behind.
Yes, behind the stage. And Your Worship, I mentioned to you 2 names. Of all the 5 that were there, I mentioned to you 2 names. That of Kari and Chauke, that they were on the stage. There might be 5. Out of 5 of them, 2 ordinarily will be drivers. It will be a driver of the main car and a driver of the backup. And the rest of the 3 deploy each other, position themselves in such a way that they don't lose contact with the body. Yes. And Your Worship, if you were to ask me who were the drivers, like the names is written from the Eastern Cape, I don't know them. Police just tell me when you arrive, you're going to find a VIP protection at the airport, and then these are other 3 VIP protectors with you. So the reason why Chauke and Kari are known to me is because before East London, they've been on my body for quite some time. I don't have to know them. They are subs. They are men of cloth. They are trustworthy. As long as they are known to the principals and the principals say to me, this is what goes on, my job is to comply and trust subs with those responsibilities.
If this person was in the area where he says he was, cars parked, as you stated, behind the stadium, could he have witnessed, I'm asking you, could he have witnessed what transpired if the shots were fired on the stage, if he was where he say he was?
A policeman has got ears of a dog. If a firearm was to be shot here, policemen by their instinct will hear there's something wrong, and they will dare to follow up as to, are we still on course or is there a problem? So as a VIP protector, had he had things that are funny and intimidating, surely he was going to pay attention, to look at the direction of his colleagues, to see if there is danger coming so that he can prepare himself. He was not sleepy. He doesn't say in that statement he was sleeping.
Could he have seen, if he was in that area where the cars were parked behind the stadium, could he have seen if those shots were fired when it was fired?
Your Worship, I wouldn't know. But the fact of the matter is the police officer was there with me, right next to the stage where I was, looking after the cars, whereas his colleagues were with me on the stage.
He says he didn't see anything.
I can't be bothered by police. I have to deliver a 2-hour speech at that time. That's what goes through my head. My security, who does what, it is their duty. They get paid for that. I get paid for giving a speech. Let's all do our jobs. It's not my job to look at where police are and what they are doing. They will give a report if something goes wrong with that body, which they are assigned to look after. So you now want to make me a supervisor of police. I must now look after them instead of them looking after me. It's not my duty.
I understood your evidence correctly yesterday, was that 4 police bodyguards were always with you. You even said when you go to the toilet, these people will be with you.
I've never said 4 bodyguards were always with me. I said these are bodyguards and they are assigned to a body. When you go to a toilet, they are there. It can't be all 4 of them. Obvious. I mean, they assign each other's responsibilities. I was just saying to the court, I had subs with me. As to which one was in the car, which one was on the stage, their pocketbook will tell. But subs was there. And it is not in dispute, Your Worship, that I had police with me.
Thank you.